Hello friends, I'm Swapna, and today we are exploring one of the most unforgettable spaces in Harry Potter's world, the cupboard under the stairs. At first glance, it's just a tiny storage space, dark and dusty, filled with spiders. But when we step deeper into its meaning, it becomes a symbol of childhood psychology, human neglect, and timeless literature. For Harry, this cramped cupboard is not just a bedroom. It is the beginning of his story. Imagine being a child locked away, hidden from the rest of the world, treated like an unwanted shadow. This is not just fiction. Many children in real life face the pain of neglect, where their existence is ignored. Psychologically, Harry's cupboard represents this kind of isolation. Instead of growing in warmth, he is kept in cold darkness. And yet, this very suffering becomes the seed of his strength. In literature, we often see great characters begin in humiliation. Cinderella begins among ashes, Oliver Twist in poverty, Jane Eyre in a locked red room. Harry's cupboard belongs to this same tradition. From the lowest, darkest point, the rise becomes even more powerful. The cupboard under the stairs is not only a prison, it is also the birthplace of a hero. When we look deeper, the cupboard becomes a mirror of Harry's inner world. It shows us the psychology of isolation. Children who are denied love, care, and freedom often retreat into imagination to survive. For Harry, the cupboard is both a punishment and a retreat. It is the place where he begins to dream of a different life. When we finally see him discover Hogwarts, it feels like light pouring into a dark corner of the soul. Symbolically, the cupboard is a cage. Harry is not only hidden from visitors, he is hidden from affection, hidden from identity, hidden from truth. He doesn't even know he is a wizard, or that he belongs to a magical world. In a way, the cupboard is like a cocoon. The Dursleys try to suffocate him there, but destiny is quietly shaping him into someone extraordinary. This is why the cupboard fascinates readers. It is not only Harry's prison, but also his preparation. When he finally leaves it behind, we feel the rebirth of someone who has survived darkness. This journey from confinement to freedom is one of the oldest and most moving themes in world literature. Think of the cupboard as a symbolic womb. It is dark, enclosed, and hidden. From this womb, Harry is eventually reborn into the magical world. His rebirth is not only physical, but also spiritual. He leaves behind the identity of a mistreated orphan and steps into his true role as the boy who lived. This makes the cupboard a space of transformation. We also notice how the cupboard connects to other literary spaces. Dickens gave us Oliver Twist's workhouse, a place of hunger and cruelty. Charlotte Bronte gave us Jane Eyre's Red Room, where a child is punished and terrified. Each of these spaces reflects the inner pain of characters, shaping them into who they later become. The cupboard joins this lineage of symbolic places. It tells us that physical spaces can hold emotional truths. Psychologically, what happens in such spaces often creates two paths: despair or resilience. Harry chooses resilience. Instead of becoming bitter, he grows kind. Instead of closing off, he learns to love. This resilience is not accidental. It is born in the cupboard, in the testing fire of neglect. The cupboard door is one of the most important symbols in this story. On the outside, it looks ordinary, but symbolically, it is a boundary. On one side is Harry's forced invisibility, and on the other side is the life he is denied. The door is a reminder that he is excluded, never part of family meals, never part of celebrations. But that same door will one day open toward a new destiny. Literature loves these boundaries: a locked door, a forbidden room, a secret passage. They all mark the place where change is waiting. In fairy tales, opening a door often begins the adventure. For Harry, the cupboard door is the threshold between humiliation and glory. It tells us that even when life locks us away, there is always the possibility of crossing into something greater. When we compare the cupboard to Hogwarts, the contrast is breathtaking. From the smallest, meanest corner of a house, Harry moves to the grandest, most magical castle. It is as if the universe is balancing the scales of justice. The cupboard and the castle are opposites, but together they form the rhythm of his journey, from being nobody to becoming the chosen one. Finally, the cupboard under the stairs is not just Harry's story, it is our story too. Each of us has faced moments of neglect, times when we felt unseen or unwanted. The cupboard symbolizes those struggles, but it also gives us hope. If Harry can rise from a cupboard to a castle, so can we rise from our own difficulties into strength. This is why readers across the world connect with Harry so deeply. It is not just the magic spells or flying broomsticks. It is the truth of the cupboard. We see ourselves in that little boy, alone and waiting for light. And when the letter from Hogwarts arrives, it feels like our own door opening, our own chance to step into a bigger destiny. So when we return to Harry's cupboard under the stairs, we do not just see a tiny space. We see a symbol of neglect, a lesson in resilience, a womb of rebirth, and a piece of literature that joins the great tradition of spaces shaping characters. From cupboard to castle, from darkness to light, Harry's journey reminds us that the smallest spaces can hold the greatest stories, and that is the magic of the cupboard under the stairs. I am Swapna, and thank you for joining me as we explored the cupboard under the stairs, a place of shadows that became the start of Harry's light. If you enjoyed this journey into symbolism, psychology, and literature, please like, share, and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, what does the cupboard mean to you?